it's all about the clap back. Get your boss whacked, Premier's funeral on Snapchat. You now tuned into the bag.
The sky's gray, it's like this every day. The town is full of predator, I'm turning a little prey. I flip $1 million out of nothing, make them feel a certain way. Hoping that the switch.
What's good, y'all? Fist Vegas, the hardest voice of sports. Go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe to the Fist. You know why you at it. Y'all know what time it is. If you ain't with it, you best get with it. Now let's rap. Listen, hit that sub button, man. Y'all know the vibes. Hit the sub button, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the bell button, hit all that YouTube shit. Alright, go ahead, hook your boy up. With that being said, Ravens flock, what up? So, I couldn't, I have to, listen, when I'm right, and when I'm wrong, I'm right. Alright, so, when it's all said and done, I gotta toot my own horn when I get the chance. And I couldn't let Juju Smith Schuster's comments on Michael Irvin podcast, I couldn't let that slide. So, we all know Juju had offers from the Ravens, the Chiefs, but yet he decided to go back to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, his reasons for going back to the Steelers instead of choosing the Ravens is what this video is about, because I could have sworn about a month ago I did a Ravens video talking about who the Ravens should draft, or no, who the Ravens should target in free agency. It wasn't a draft video, it was a free agency video. What wide receivers the Ravens should target in free agency. And I said the ideal fit will be Corey Davis because he just blocked for Derrick Henry, who ran for 2,000 yards. In order for the Ravens to get a receiver, they're going to have to get somebody who doesn't mind blocking most of the time. I said that a lot of that's not Lamar Jackson's fault. A lot of the reasons why the Ravens can't get a receiver is because of the system. Has nothing to do with Lamar Jackson. And some of y'all believe me. A lot of Ravens fans believe me, because the Ravens fans know what's up with this dumbass run first system. But the Lamar haters is like, no, he's inaccurate, he's this, he's that. You know, Ravens, Lamar haters gonna take their shots. But the boy Juju came out and said it had nothing to do with Lamar Jackson. He was texting back and forth for Lamar Jackson. Him and Lamar Jackson have a good relationship. The issue is the system. He didn't want to go to the Ravens because they run the ball too damn much. And his number one target was a tight end. Which makes sense because a lot of the Ravens sets be heavy with the tight ends, 2-3 tight ends sometimes. It makes sense that Andrew Thomas would be his, Mark Andrews would be his number one target. And then, of course, if you're in a 3 tight end set, you're only going to put one wide receiver out there. You're going to put the burner Hollywood Brown out there. So it's like, Juju's like, why would I go play for the Ravens and look bad? You feel me? Because that's really what would happen. If you go play in a run first system, you're going to look bad if you're not getting the targets that you need to get. And it's not even your fault. It could just be because you're not getting chances. And with Juju Smith Schuster being primarily a slot receiver, why the hell would he go to Baltimore? You know what I'm saying? How many opportunities is their slot receiver going to see? They're going to get to even see the field, let alone catch the ball. Which brings me back to my main issue with the Ravens organization. They've got to change the offense. Greg Roman got to change the offense. I told y'all, Lamar Jackson can be the best player on the planet if he was in Cliff Kingsbury offense. If you just swap, if he was in a Cliff Kingsbury offense, like Kyler Murray's in, where they spread the ball, and then he has an option to run, but there's 4 receivers on the field, Lamar Jackson would be the most deadly player in the history of the league. If you just swap Kyler with Lamar Jackson, that Cardinal team would win 13, 14 games. Easy. Because Lamar Jackson is a better runner than Kyler, and I also think he's a better down the field thrower than Kyler. Kyler's really not that accurate. He's really not. Kyler Murray is not that accurate down the field. Lamar Jackson is. He can hit Hollywood. He hits his receiving targets down the field when they take them deep shots. You don't lead the league in touchdowns for nothing. If he was in Cam Newton offense, like they do in New England, where they let Cam Newton, they don't even hide it when Cam Newton's running at this point. When it's time for Cam Newton to run, they beautifully design QB runs. But when they're not running with him, they also have some read option plays out of spread sets. You feel me? So I just think that he needs to be in an offense where it's like, don't limit him with 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends, or 3 wide receivers and 1 tight end. Lamar Jackson needs to be in a spread offense where he can throw the ball, but if he's not going to throw the ball, when he runs the ball, he has space to hit holes, because all it takes is 1 miss. If you line up in a 4 wide receiver set and everybody's in man coverage, if you're playing a 2-man under and Lamar Jackson break loose and that safety misses the tackle, he's going to hit his head on the goalpost. There's better ways to use Lamar Jackson. There's better ways to get wide receivers more involved in Baltimore. It's not being exploited. So, Ravens fans, I'm back to my original statement. My original conclusion on the Ravens offense is A, fire the coordinator, or B, redo the offense, and C, and most importantly, the only way the Ravens are going to get a number 1 receiver is through the draft. Now, I hear a lot of Ravens fans are mocking the Tooney kid from Florida, the Florida wide receiver. Now, if I'm the Ravens, I want to take my chance on a number 1 guy. Try and get me a Terrence Marshall. Try and get you a Rashad Bateman. Try and get somebody who projects to be a number 1 receiver. Alright, get somebody who can get open on 3rd down, who can get that deep end on 3rd down, who can get that deep comeback on 3rd down, somebody who can hit the skinny post, somebody who can do the little shit to move the chains. You got Hollywood Brown to burn people, but you need a wide receiver you can line up on the outside and beat man-to-man coverage on a consistent basis from the best corners in the league. Lamar Jackson needs a security blanket that's not a tight end. He needs a possession receiver who can beat number 1 coverage. He needs somebody to complement Hollywood Brown. You get what I'm saying? Because if Hollywood Brown is going to take the top off, whoever the opposite receiver is always going to get one-on-one coverage. So you need a wide receiver that can beat that one-on-one coverage, because the safety is always going to hover over the burner, especially when you're as fast as Hollywood. Or better yet, when you're playing the Ravens, if you don't respect Hollywood, you just go load the box up and try and stop the run. One way or the other, you're not doubling 2 receivers on the Ravens. Whoever the Ravens draft in the 1st round of wide receiver, he's getting single covered all fucking season. Because whether they're loading up the box to stop the run, or they're playing prevent, well, not prevent, but they're playing a safety, or they're rolling coverage on Hollywood. One way or the other, he's going to get number 1, because he's going to get one-on-one coverage. So they need a solid receiver that can beat one-on-one coverage on the outside, because the Ravens are going to line up in a lot of pistol, a lot of 2 wide receiver sets. They're not going to use 3 receivers. But I ain't got nothing else to say on the topic. I just thought it was interesting that I told y'all that nobody wants to sign with the Ravens because of the system. Had nothing to do with Lamar. But that's it, that's all. Subscribe to the unit. If you rockin' with me, my name is Fist Vegas, and I approve this message.